Hello, and thank you for stopping by. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when new videos arrive. January 6th. Why is that day important? That is the day that a group of people decided to overrun the Capitol building. They felt that it was their duty to abolish the government as we know it, because they felt that we had stole the election from Donald Trump. There was actually no evidence of that, except for Donald Trump coming out and saying there was evidence. We had no voter fraud. Loads of people said there was no voter fraud. Yeah, ever so often you'll get some voter fraud. It happens all the time in just about every election. Somebody will stuff the ballot with an extra vote, or they'll try to maybe get people to vote twice, or get people to vote that's not in their area because they care about the person that they're trying to get elected. Now, they honestly believed, because of what Donald Trump had told them, that it was their duty, that the government had gotten so bad that they were to abolish the government. What does that mean exactly? Well, the Founding Fathers put that in our Declaration of Independence. They said it was our duty. Now, I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can. I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to explain how the United States government has made it impossible for us to do what the Founding Fathers directed us to do, when the government got so bad that we cannot allow it to keep going in its current form. This is an introduction, and I will put this link to this whole thing. I'm going to just read a little piece of this, but I'm going to put the link in the description so you can read it for yourself. And you can look these up. Yeah, you're going to find it exactly in any other place that you find information. Wherever your information that you trust, you will find these exact same things. This is worded a little different, but you'll still find the evidence in wherever you're going to look up. Introduction. If I were to tell you without qualification that the American people have a God-given right to alter or abolish the U.S. government or any state government and to replace them with something new, how would that strike you? Would you believe me? Would you reject the idea because it is only me who is saying it? Who am I? I'm just some YouTuber out here trying to spread the word. Brother, does the idea seem too radical or too extreme? Does it? Would it make a difference if you realized that without this type of radical extremist thinking, there wouldn't even be an America or United States at all? Let's put it into context. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. They've left out a few things, so I'm going to kind of clarify. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, which means that our government is doing away with our rights, they are tramping all over us. It is the right of the people, that's you and me, it is our right to alter or to abolish it. It is not just our right, but it is our duty. It doesn't say that in this piece of paper here, but that's what it says in the Declaration of Independence. It is our right. It is our duty. They are charging us with protecting our freedom and protecting America. We can't live on autopilot for much longer. It ain't working. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. We need a government that's going to secure our safety and our happiness. Mankind are more disposed to suffer, which means that we are more likely to put up with something, while the evils are sufferable, which means that we'll put up with stuff no matter how bad it gets. The husband that's nitpicked by the wife that's beat up by the husband. And I know this from a fact because I know some people that have that I'll fix them kind of attitude. They'll put up with being beat up. They'll put up with the alcohol abuse and the drug abuse because they're used to it. They would rather suffer because of the evils that they're suffering through than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed, which means that people will put up with crap and a pile of shit because they're used to it, and it's just easier to put up with it than it is to change it. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, that means that when it's happened for a long time, when it's happened over and over and over, and they say, I'm sorry, but they come back and do it again, when it shows that they are not going to change, and we put up with that, it is our right, it is our duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for our future security. It is our right. It is our duty. We were charged with that by the federal founders, by the founding fathers. We were given that charge over the American. They trusted us enough to know that we would stand up for ourselves and stand up for America. That's from the Declaration of Independence, 1776. Still think the idea of a right to alter or abolish any of our present government is too radical or extreme? Well, some people certainly think so, and they've taken steps to make sure nothing like that happens in America since the Revolution. First, they have taken pains to discredit the Declaration and to restrict the way it is taught. The reason I say this, it says they have taken pains to discredit the Declaration and to restrict the way it is taught. We are told that it is just a fun thing to read, that it's just a piece of paper that doesn't really mean anything anymore because it was over 240 years ago. But they have taken great pains to discredit the Declaration and to restrict the way it is taught in government-approved curricula and government-sponsored schools, including universities. Second, they have enacted statutes to strongly discourage any throwing off of the government, to wit, rebellion or insurrection. Whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion or insurrection against the authority of the United States or the laws thereof shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. U.S. 18 U.S.C. subsection 2383. Seditious Conspiracy. If two or more persons in any place subject to the jurisdiction of the United States conspire to overthrow, put down, or to destroy by force the government of the United States, or to levy war against them, or to oppose by force the authority thereof, they shall be fined under this title, or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. 18 U.S.C. subsection 2384. Advocating overthrowing of the government. Whoever knowingly or willfully advocates, abets, advises, or teaches the duty, necessity, desirability, or property of overthrowing, propriety, not property, propriety of overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States, or the government of any state by force or violence, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. 18 U.S.C. subsection 2385. Just let the above words sink in for a moment. First, we have a quotation from the founding documents of our nation. Beloved and cherished by Americans for well over 200 years, to the effect that people have not only the right, but the duty to overthrow an abusive, despotic, or tyrannical government which tramples on their individual rights. Now, I watch a show called The Practice. And the reason I'm saying this is because in The Practice, they have went up against the Supreme Court. And one of the judges said that we don't have rights. The American people do not have rights. We have privileges. It's a privilege to be able to do what we do. We are so privileged because we're Americans. We are privileged to be here. It's not our right to be here. We are privileged to be able to speak and to write and to express ourselves. It is a privilege to have privacy. It's not a right. We don't automatically walk into the room expecting people to salute us like they do in the military. It is a privilege for the government to serve us. It is a privilege for us to have such a good government, basically. That's what they're saying. That's not right. The Founding Fathers knew that. I know that. But how many of us Americans know that? I'm going to leave you on this note that pretty soon America will not be here anymore because we don't care enough. We say we do. When people ask us how much we care about America, we say we care a lot. We fly a flag on Flag Day. We celebrate the 4th of July and gobble down loads of hot dogs and shoot off bunches of fireworks. We vote every 4 years for a new president. But in all honesty, how much of America do we actually care? How much in America do we actually really care? We would have to get outside of our box and take a look around. And we'll notice that we're not on Mount Olympus anymore. What's happening in America is real. I don't mean to be a downer, so I'm going to leave you on this note. Remember to make America better tomorrow than yesterday by doing the very best we can today.